What are we doing today, little buddy?
Going to see the Yaks.
A couple weeks ago, I was visiting a lady named Denise who raises rabbits, Katahdin sheep, and she also had a pet yak named Jack. I really enjoyed the yak. I thought he was really awesome. And I got a lot of comments from you guys expressing the same, and it kind of made me want a yak. This pet yak seemed like a really cool animal. Denise gave me the contact information from the guy she bought her yak from, and I called him yesterday, and he wound up inviting me and little buddy to come on down and see his pet yak, as well as his yak meat operation. Oh, hello there.
Boy, you're a man of my liking. You're even a little bit early, aren't you? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, you're a gentleman, Mackloud. Okay, you can reach up here and pet him.
Is he soft?
Do you want to sit on him?
No.
Not
okay,
yet.
In a little
Not
while,
yet.
we'll
Yes.
let you sit on him. Maybe with your dad.
Once he warms up, he will.
But anyway, he's a good yak. He likes us to pet him. He just good all around pet. I'm Lynn Taylor, and I bought this property here about 27 years ago. I wanted to raise something that was fun and just to enjoy the rural farm life. So I started out with a small herd of sheep and kept them for a couple of years, but then I got an invitation to go back to work overseas. So I sold all the sheep and went overseas. Then when I came back, I got some cattle for a little while, and that didn't prove to be economically viable in my instance. So I decided to try these yaks. And I got the first yaks, just 5 yaks. There were 2 cows, 2 calves, and a bull about 14 years ago. And we have kind of grown from then to where we have a little over 40 yaks now. And I've never regretted getting the yaks. They're just such fun-spirited, people-oriented animals. You'll see later on as we go out through the herd that some of them are just naturally friendly. Most of them prefer to keep a distance between them and people, but others are naturally friendly. And in fact, sometimes when I go out to feed, they get so friendly, they get in the way a little bit. But that's all to be tolerated, and that's worth it to have them so friendly. And you can see Mackloud is so unique that he's a little over 9 years old now. Well, when he was only about a week old, his mother got sick with tetanus and died. So I kept him out in the corral for about 3 days, and I'd take a bottle out to him and feed him. And after about 3 days, I got up one morning and he was over at the house looking in the window. He had seen where the milk comes from each day and decided he wouldn't wait for the milk, he'd go get it. And so for the next several months while he was still drinking milk, he would always come to the house and look in the window and grunt, which is the typical sound a yak makes. Anyway, he would come over and grunt to let me know he wanted some milk, and so I would give him the milk. But then for more than 3 years, he would still come to the house, look in the window and grunt when he wanted a bucket of warm water. And of course, you can't deny it, an animal that'll do that, asking for a drink. That used to be easier getting on.
It'd be great if he was a little small to get on.
Yeah, it would be a little easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's kind of a unique thing. I kind of marvel at their intellect or whatever it is, because he makes up his mind what he will do and won't do. And I cannot make him do anything that he doesn't want to do. If he doesn't want to do it, it won't get done. They're so flock-oriented that I cannot go out into the herd and get one separated from there. If I want to separate one, be for whatever reason, doctor it or take it to market or whatever, I have to bring the whole herd into the corral, and then while they're in the corral, as they go through the gates, I have to open and close gates to separate one from the rest of them. Well, I raise them for meat. I market yak burger to grocery stores and restaurants in the area, just a local area, and I do that on an individual basis. I contact the establishments and see if they would be interested in selling or serving yak, and frankly the response is pretty good. Most of them are interested in trying it, and so it gives them a little bit of a varied menu, and gives me a little bit of income. So I think it all works out to the better of everybody. The yak meat is very similar to beef. The primary difference is that it has some chemical variations. It's supposed to be healthier for you, but the big difference is that it is much lower in fat content, and so it primarily appeals to the more health conscious people. And because yaks don't eat as much as beef cattle, but they grow a lot slower. So it costs quite a bit more to raise a pound of yak meat than it does beef. And so the price is likewise higher, and that might deter some people, but there still are quite a few that think it's worth the extra expense.
How long does it take to get a yak to butcher weight?
It takes about 4 years to get a yak up to around 1,000 pounds, which would be about the ideal butcher weight. Well, the hanging weight on a 1,000-pound animal would be approaching 700 pounds. As far as consumption, my analysis is they eat about 2/3 as much per weight as a beef cow will, or beef cattle. But so they only eat 2/3 as much, but they only grow about 1/3 as fast. So again, it costs more to produce a pound of yak meat than it does a pound of beef. But they get along on just routine grass hay. In lots of respects, their biology is just like a cow.
Are there any special management considerations you have to make with yaks versus cattle?
No, I don't believe so. I think the yaks are a lot easier to keep because they're more respectful of fences.
Other than meat, what yields can you get from a yak?
Well, you can, in the spring of the year, they shed their wool. And so you can comb that out. And right now, he's hanging on to his wool to keep himself warm. But you can comb the wool out, then it has to be processed, and then it can be spun and woven into caps, gloves, things to keep you warm. Of course, there's when they're slaughtered, there's the leather. And some people like to gather the skulls and the horns and decorate them up or not, but keep them for decorative purposes.
We're gonna ride Mackloud the yak.
Okay, come here now, Liv. Oh, you're bigger than I thought.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where are we going?
I don't know, it's up to him.
Little buddy, that yak's gonna come right in the house.
He can fit.
Oh, he's going right for those milk bones.
Here, let's put these over here. Well, I don't know about the dog.
Put the dogs in. Can I feed the dog?
Okay, let's go back over here.
How is that, buddy? Is that good?
Get out.
Is that about as far as he comes in the house?
Yeah, that's as far as I let him.
This is fun!
This is a hayride.
Wee! This is fun! Oh! Go fast! Now this is fun! I like going fast because I want...
How many pounds per day per head in hay do you suspect they eat?
Well, I've got these 40 head of yaks and I feed about 600 pounds a day. The rule of thumb I use for yak feed is that they will eat 2% of their body weight per day in hay, grass hay.
You don't have to supplement with alfalfa or clover or anything?
No, there's no supplement. They do fine just on grass hay. This is the father of everybody that's going to be born this spring. Come over here a little bit.
He is big boy. How much does he weigh?
Last time I weighed him, he was 1,400 pounds, but he's going to be, I'm going to guess him at about 1,600 pounds now. Yak meat is a little bit different in beef in that it has the stronger sinews in it and less fat. And the fat is accumulated rather than marbled in the meat. So it doesn't make as good a steak as a beef animal would. And those sinews in it can make a steak very tough. So it's recommended generally to either have all the meat put into fillets and then slow cook them, or made into hamburger. In summary, the meat should probably either be tenderloin, slow cooked, fillet roast, or hamburger.
Alright, little buddy, what'd you think of those yaks?
I want the ATV.
Yeah, the ATV was a lot of fun.
Yes, we can buy one of those and ride them at home.
Maybe. We'll talk about that later.